Welcome to another unboxing video. Last time I did this, I unboxed some Heroclix that were Marvel related from brand new boxes. And today, I got an eBay order. And this eBay order is supposed to be for Horrorclix, and I generally know what's in here. I saw the pictures on eBay of what's coming, but I had forgotten some, and some were in the back of the picture and did not have a close-up picture of them, and so it was kind of hard to tell which ones they were. So, and I apologize if you can hear the rain in the background. Here's what we're working with. So, I'll just do one bag at a time. Here goes bag one. I'm just going to dump them out and then pull them up one by one. So first up, we have the Muttering Igor. And there's multiple of those. We've got the Hard Hat Zombie. This would be very good for Post or any other kind of zombie games I want to do. So there's quite a few of those. I remember even in the pictures I could see quite a few of them. And I like that because I can use those for, like I said, I can use them for Post and stuff. And it's nice to have little armies of ones that look pretty much the same. There's another Igor, another Igor, another one. And here, drop it. We've got a Vampire Roustabout. And I actually already have one of these from a different set that I got on eBay a long time ago. But now I have some more. And they kind of work just as kind of thugs. So they'd be good for, Marvel, DC, or any kind of modern campaign. Or zombies, just as not zombies, but it's just people that they run into. We have the Morgue Attendant. And there's quite a few of those. Here's another one of the vampires. Another Igor, another vampire, more morgue assistants, and another construction zombie. These are all morgue assistants, and finally another construction zombie. So I will push those back, and we can start our next bag. So, and if you can't tell from me and my mom's podcast, it's horror themed. We both really like horror, so even these that I won't use in our current post game, I may use for other games. I have some other tabletop role-playing games like Monster of the Week that I've yet to play. So next up, we have this Satanist with a upside-down pentagram, and we have this just called a pod. It looks like. So it kind of looks like the pod from Alien, but it's got a creepy little guy coming out of there. So I'm sure that'll come in handy even just for D&D. Next up we have the Farmer, and he looks like a zombie. So I assume it's supposed to be a zombie, so zombie farmer. An archaeologist. So this figure will actually be really good for a campaign that I'm currently doing with one of my friends. And she kind of, it's like a Tomb Raider type character. We've got the Snake Oil Salesman with a little snake wrapped around him. And this is just a neat figure to have. I don't know what in particular I may use it for, but I'm sure I will at some point. We've got nuns. So we've got, like, Speak No Evil, See No Evil, and I assume Hear No Evil. Or I guess she's just got a nose, so I don't know. I figured that it was that, but I guess it's not. So we've got a couple of the nuns, so those actually will come in handy with the same campaign that I will use the archaeologist for. So here's another one of the archaeologists that I'll put over here. Here we have a mime monster. So that's pretty cool. We have Voodoo Baron. And I know there's multiple of these because I remember seeing them in the pictures. So we've got that one and that one. This is Furnace. I don't know what that is. But it's a guy with a bag that's got handcuffs. So maybe an entertainer of some kind. And then we have Jane Cleaver, which I actually think this would work for like a Twisted Alice or something like that from Alice in Wonderland. Here we have Zombie Drill Sergeant, so another zombie for Post. And then this is just called a swordsman, so his arms are like swords. was pretty neat. And then we have Freddy Von Blood. So it's a two-headed man holding a rabbit. Another of those nuns, and then another of the two-headed guy. So, bag 3. Ooh, I know what's in here. I already have one of these from a previous lot. The lab assistant. So she's kind of a heavier woman with a big vat of something green. So, plenty of her. I don't know if I'll actually use that many of her, but I liked the other figures in the lot enough that it didn't really bother me that I was getting so many of her. Because there is a ton. I cannot tell. And then the other things in here are the scrubber, or what the blue ones, is that what these are called too? Yeah, they're all just scrubbers. But they look like scientists in hazmat suits. So I already have some from the AIM scientists that look like scientists in hazmat suits. So those will add to the collection, so they'll be good for zombie stuff and things like that. And then there's also the insect man in there. So it's a guy that's like partially a ant, it looks like. So probably like their copyright-free version of the fly. So here's one of the blue hazmat suits, and then the yellow. Okay, so that was all that was in there. Lots of lab assistants. So bag. This 4? I believe this is 4. Maybe it's 5. Anyway, next bag. It's not good. We have Proto Cyborg. These will actually be really good for a campaign I'm about to start tomorrow with one of my friends. It's a sci-fi campaign that takes place in the future, so we have multiple of those guys. And then the other one that fell here is the quarterback slasher. So it looks like a football player that's got a skull for a head. Let's see that. And then he's holding a knife, and he's holding a severed head instead of a football. So actually he would be good for zombies too, since he's got the skeleton face. He looks like an undead. More of those cyborgs. Here we have a brain eater, and it looks like he's holding a brain still attached to his spine. So, neat. Reminds me of the scientists from Plants vs. Zombies. No, they're the cyborgs. This is a flasher, but he's got arms coming out of his coat. Reminds me of that one SCP that it's like a jacket that you wear that has a bunch of arms coming out of it. And it looks like he might be a little bit broken there. That's not over on that side, it's what it is, but not a big deal. And I'm sure I'll find a use for him, especially if I do end up doing some kind of SCP. Yeah, here we go. There's another one, and that one's not broken. We have a, he's called Scorch. It looks like a burnt man who is blowing fire. There's a lot of ones that are kind of circus themed. Here we have a zombie ventriloquist, so this might be a good zombie figure to use. Here we have an android, so again, this would work well for the sci-fi campaign I'm going to do. Here's another one of the ones holding the brain with the spinal cord, and another one of those. And then we have Zombie Nerd. So, it's computed there with wires going into him. And then we have Death, is what this one says. Kind of like a person in a suit, almost mechanical. And then another one of the ones holding a brain with a spine. Reorganize things. So, let's go for the next bag. Okay, so first up, we have the 50-foot tall ex-girlfriend. Don't know when I will need that, but I may want it at some point. Then we have a genie, and it looks like he's eating an arm. A genie will definitely come in handy. I don't know about or he's not eating an arm, the arm is holding a cigar that he's smoking. So he might be cool to do for like a boss for a D&D campaign or something. This looks like a broken stand. It says Carnage Bot. So I'm guessing that's what this is. So there's Carnage Bot. Yep, just right back on there. And then this is a luchador. So he's got 3 arms, it looks like, and he's stripping someone's arm. So there's a couple of those. Oh, and here's another of the Carnage Bots. So those will come in handy in that campaign that I'm gonna start tomorrow. Then we have the Phantom Maneater, which pretty much just looks like a tiger except one side's see-through. So I might actually end up using this as more just like a regular tiger. Well, actually, this one is just a regular tiger, so this one I'll definitely use just a regular tiger sometimes. That would be cool if I have some kind of invisible tiger, or maybe even a representation of like a displacer beast or something. I don't know. Here we have a Playboy monster, so it's like a take on a Playboy bunny, but evil, I guess. There's another of the ex-girlfriends, and then there's 2 of those Playboy bunnies. So, next bag, we have a pod zombie. So, another zombie for the post or whatever I need it for. And yet another zombie. This one is a zombie patient, so he's got like a patient robe on, he's missing a hand. We have a butcher. He's holding a pig head there, and he's got his big old cleaver there. More of the pod zombies. Lots of those. And then more of the patient zombies. Lots of those. And then there's another of the butchers. And then we've got our Greys aliens. So there's this one with that, like probe. And then this one with more of a claw type. And then this one has the more of the... Well, I guess it is different. That one's more phallic, in my opinion, than this one. This one's more of a drill. And then that one has a claw. Then we have a zombie cheerleader. So that'll be... I always love having a variety of zombies. And then another of the voodoo barons. So he is pretty neat. He's holding a voodoo doll there. There's where I put the other ones. So, them. And then we move on to our next bag. I'm going to move those over. These are a lot of big ones. So here we got a Sasquatch, and he's also holding an arm. They really like holding arms in this set. Then we have, we have the rabid bear. It's got, he's on like a ball, like in the circus, like when bears are. But instead it's like a ball and chain, and it's wrapped into his mouth, and he's got a little hat on and claws and things. So that might be neat to use at some point. And then we have Snookums, who I assume is supposed to be like making fun of Barney. So it's a kind of mascot horror with a chainsaw. And then we have a Centipede, which I will definitely use at some point. It's really cool. And then a Demon Bunny. So just an evil looking bunny. Velociraptor, which I'm really excited for. I love dinosaurs, and I have lots of dinosaur figures, but most of the dinosaur figures I have don't have stands. They're just, kind of dinosaurs. This one is Nessie, so the Loch Ness Monster. So that's also neat, and could also work as a few different dinosaurs if I wanted to use it for that. Here we've got Guillotine. I think it'd work well as a zombie for my campaign. Then we have Cannibal Clowns. Don't know what I'd use it for, but it's pretty neat. A lot of these, if I do run a Monster of the Week campaign, which I don't even know if you really use figures for that, but it would be cool to have them for that. So here we have a lab gorilla, so he's got the cage door that from the cage he was trapped in, and he's got all little kind of marks on him from experiments. Another of those like Playboy bunnies, and then this one is just a giant, it says, but it's actually a Cyclops, so this one might actually come in handy. The only kind of issue I would have with it being a Cyclops is it is holding like a modern telephone pole, just because if I was going to use a Cyclops it'd probably be in something Greek inspired. But it's not that big of a deal, and I'm also pretty sure I already have a different Cyclops that's more more Greek than this. So now I have like a modern one. So again, something it might work for a game like Monster of the Week. Okay, next one we have. I see gnomes, but I'm not going to start with them. We've got this mummy. It's called the Museum Wanderer, and it looks like there's quite a few of those. This one is missing an arm. And then we have radioactive zombies, which I already have one of these from a different set that I got a long time ago. But would you focus? Hello? There we go. So there's a radioactive zombie, and there's quite a few of those. And then we also have, this is an asylum spirit, so it's like a ghost in a straitjacket. So that's pretty neat. And then we have the Monster Patrol, so it's a young girl and a young boy. So that, again, that would work for, kids on bikes or some kind of game like that. Another is the zombie ventriloquist that I showed off earlier. More radioactive zombies, more of the asylum spirits, and the lots of the radioactive zombie there. So that is an asylum spirit, but it's all the way see-through. So instead of just having like a see-through parts that aren't in the straitjacket thing is. So there's all the radioactive ones. Another zombie ventriloquist, and then like I said, I saw gnomes, so we have one gnome. So this one has like garden shears that are bloody, and he's standing in a bird bath, and it looks like they're all like that. So I guess those are all pretty much the same, but they might come in handy at some point. Even just as regular gnomes for a D&D campaign, I think that they would be just fine. Okay. Next bag. Let me tilt you a little bit more. So, I was really excited for this one. We have Shoggoth, which is a creature from the Lovecraft mythos, which is perfect for a campaign that I'm in the middle of. Then we have a Gypsy Seer, is what this one is called. So that might work just, kind of as a witch or a wizard for any regular old D&D campaign that I may need it for. We have a broken Ryler, which I already have one of these, but it's the one that's not see-through. But my see-through one, I have one from a previous set that I got. It's not broken. But it's not see-through. So that's kind of sad, but I can always glue it. So I will probably end up doing that, so I'm going to put it off to the side. We have a Wild Man, is what this one is called. So we've got that, and there's another Wild Man. This is a Carney, and it looks like he's missing an arm. He's hiding a knife behind his back. Another Wild Man. We've got the Zombie Tin Man from Oz. So that's pretty neat. I probably won't use that in the post-game, but it's cool to have. A Plague Vagrant is what this one is called. So this might work as some kind of abomination or something. Oh, I guess he's covered in rats. I didn't even see that. That makes sense why he's the Plague Vagrant. But I'm sure I can come up with a use for that. This is a vat-grown clone, is what it says. So it looks like he doesn't really have any facial features very much, except for eyes. And then he's holding a knife there. So then we've got a zombie scarecrow. So again, like with the Tin Man from Oz, except he's zombified. And then I was really excited for this one. We've got a zombie reindeer, and you can see there he's got a whole gun shoved through him, and he's got an arm in his mouth. And so this would be something fun that would be good for like a Christmas one-shot or something like that. Here we have an escape artist. So it's not really that creepy, just kind of a contortionist on a pole. There's another zombie scarecrow. This is another of the Gypsy Seers. We've got a little gremlin, which would be good for like an imp or different things in D&D. We have a Black Knight, which again would work just as kind of a fantasy person for D&D or whatever. And then a Victorian vampire there. So he's got a woman and then him. So that's pretty neat. And then I don't know, I know the zombie tin was there. I don't know if these two, I assume these two aliens were in there too. Either that or I did shove them over, but you already seen the aliens. So next bag. So we have a werewolf orderly. So pretty neat. He's holding the clipboard there and has got the lab coat on and everything. And then here we have another one, and this is a Repto Sapien, so humanoid reptilian guy. So when I do my Marvel stuff, he would work really well as like a variant of the lizard. So there's a few of those. Now I don't remember seeing these, the one I just picked up. I don't remember seeing these in the picture, but it's the Tooth Fairy. She's very creepy. So there's a couple of those, and I'm not going to worry about putting them all on their stands right this minute. Just the other one. So let's put them together. There's another of the Reptosaurs, and then we've got the Men in Black. So they kind of got gray skin. I don't know if they all look. Yeah, they all pretty much look the same. That one's leaning pretty bad. Here we have Core Response. I would like to do an SCP game sometime, whether I have to homebrew a system or use one that someone else has made. So some of these figures would be really good for that kind of thing. There's another one of the werewolf orderlies, and another of the Response, another Man in Black, another Reptosaur. So that's that bag. That's cards. So we've got cards in there, so you can see the Cannibal Clowns on that side, and then this one is on that side. And then we've got another bag of cards. So there's the Core Response. This says unfortunate side effects, so I'm not sure what that is, and you can see what the Horrorclix logo looks like. So I don't know if everything's here where I could actually play a Heroclix game. I've never actually played Heroclix. I just like to collect them to use them for other games. But this one says miscellaneous parts, so this must be broken ones. And it looks like maybe some of the pieces that came off some of the other ones are in there. So I'm not going to go through them, but I might be able to fix up some of the figures that were missing pieces. But this last bag, we got an evil cosmonaut. So they've got like green see-through skin and almost like a skull motif. So they might be good as like zombies or something at some point. Then we have Batboy, and it looks like he's on like a circus ring thing. And there's a couple of him. There's more of the astronaut ones. It's another Batboy. And then we've got another insect man, but this one's more of a black ant, whereas the other ones were like a red ant. Another one of the Frothweilers, which I was looking these up, and as far as I can tell, they're kind of something that there's another one, that Heroclix made up. They're not anything I could find anything about online. So maybe I'm stupid and wasn't doing research in the right place, but as far as I can tell, they're something Heroclix made up. And I know Frothweilers would play on Rawweiler. And this is a wolf boy, so it's a little boy on a stool. And it's a werewolf. And so there's two of him. So that is my haul. Let me know in the comments if you have any Horrorclix that I didn't show off in this video, or if you have some of the ones I do. Tell me which one was your favorite from the video, or just have a great day.